I start? Last I checked, the legislature is still in session. This has to do with a couple of things. Last I checked, and let me make sure I get this accurate, Senate is refusing to confirm an appointee to the Idaho Judicial Council on an 8 to 22 vote. I will bring you that information if what's going to happen with this as it becomes available. Also, the Idaho House killed the Library Commission budget. This has a lot to do with what kids are having access to in libraries. And Governor Brad Little killed the IT budget. How's this going to play out for ending this legislative session? We'll see if some legislators are kind of working quickly towards getting out of session. I know a lot of legislators want to get out of session because the vast majority of them are campaigning for re-election. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but the main thing we're doing on Steph Lucas Live tonight, we're talking about Idaho hitting national news again, but it seems to be news to Idaho's media. We'll go over that on Steph Lucas Live. And we're back on Steph Lucas Live. So let's, sorry, I'm trying to pull up a couple different things here. So I have some video clips and hopefully those will come up. But mainly those have to do with what you may have seen already. This is accuracy in media's undercover report about what's happening in Idaho schools as far as critical race theory. For a long, long time, and I have the receipts, we'll show those later, the Idaho Freedom Foundation has been drawing Idaho's attention to the fact that critical race theory, despite the efforts of House Bill 377, is still being taught in Idaho schools, especially under the guise of social emotional learning, right? I mean, you start out with talking about feelings and stuff, and then it turns into, are you more comfortable when people use your pronouns? And then you have that discussion, and it just all goes downhill from there. That's basically, you know, the drill with these sorts of things. I'm going to try and bring those videos up here. Just hold on a second. I'm kind of flying solo tonight, being that the legislature is going overtime tonight, trying to get some budgets and things passed. We're actually going to, yeah, there we go. Okay, sorry guys, I'm running this as I'm talking. It happens, just me here. I'm fine with that. We're going to try and find those video clips in just a second. In the meantime, let's get to what's happening. I want to start with this. Why March 18th, Steph Lucas? Well, because basically what the name of the article is. It was an opinion piece written by Dan Coberly, Jeffrey Thomas, Will Overgard, what have you. These are the guys that are criticizing the Idaho Freedom Foundation. Here's the headline. The Idaho Freedom Foundation has failed to provide factual information. Did they now? They're talking about a paper titled Critical Social Justice in K-12 Education. The Idaho Freedom Foundation has failed miserably in providing factual information. We do have some factual information about critical race theory. That's a lot of what the article dealt with. And we are going to get to a video clip that basically proves Idaho Ed News and the opinion piece wrong. You want factual information, you got it. Let's just give you the breakdown of this bombshell report from Accuracy in Media. Here's the overview.
Race theory is incredibly divisive and incredibly unpopular. It started out in higher education, but now parents across the country are fearful that the racist, Marxist tenets of critical race theory have found their way into K-12 schools. In response, politicians in 7 states have banned critical race theory from being taught to children. A dozen other states are considering doing the same. But as we discovered in our investigation in Idaho, simply banning critical race theory isn't enough to stop the unaccountable bureaucrats of public education.
Let's go back to that opinion piece in Idaho Ed News, shall we? March 18th, the Idaho Freedom Foundation has failed to provide factual information, which they did not, and this is an op-ed, but you want some factual information? How about straight from the source? Videos! This is Accuracy in Media going undercover to get footage of administrators from school districts in Idaho talking about, yeah, we still teach critical race theory. Aren't we smart for fooling everyone? Here's a clip.
Went to a superintendent's meeting last week, and the district was intentional to switch out social emotional learning to behavior adaptations.
Like they just changed the name?
Changed the label, same stuff. And I thought, it's kind of a bummer they have to do that, but on the same hand, it's kind of brilliant.
Heck yeah!
Because they don't care about this, even though it's the same as this, but it's the label. So I thought it was brilliant on their part.
It is brilliant.
So
Why can't you just do that with stuff like critical race theory?
I agree.
Right.
We should look up Michelle now. According to the National Review, she's unavailable for comment. We'll get to that momentarily, but because this is it, national news. What's happening in Idaho? Has actually brought this up. We've been on One American News already. We've also hit the National Review. I'm just going to go back because we had time for this, right? Legislature's still in session. Last I checked, there's a lot of frustrated lawmakers. Find out about what's going on this Friday night later. You want to bring up a few things. Looking at is memorized that for a while now, and even before the Freedom Foundation, telling everyone, look, critical race theory is just hiding in the guise of social and emotional learning. Okay? Here's the headline: Idaho education teachers want to hide racist social emotional learning from parents. Note that date, October 20th, 2021. Right. So, Wayne Lawson's article, it's folded there. The latest bit of word sources from the Iowa State Agency, the Department of Education, now trying to hide a vehicle for critical race theory. Even though this happened way back in October, of course, July, the suspects saying, "Oh, that doesn't happen here. You guys, the far right, let's go to the next slide here. I want to bold this. Wayne Hoffman was saying after 2021, Wayne Hoffman telling everyone that the race theory is now hidden under social and emotional learning. The Idaho Media too. Okay. Here's what the Idaho Media was on ABC 10, I believe. Anyway, it's written by Alexander Dugan of the Idaho Press. This is about a month after Wayne's article. Where were they? Freedom Foundation parents, they were crazy. It wasn't them. Here's what they said a month after Wayne's article. Radical. Idaho's far right brings a conversation where a long established learning concept. Here's what they say. Your social side. See what they're saying is the social emotional learning approach focuses on teaching children emotional skills implemented in the treasure valley. It's all about social emotional learning. Here, right? That is how the learning methods can be adopted. Miller, let's read it. Video. Let's play another one from administrators and Idaho Public Schools.
So this new law doesn't mess with you guys?
Not yet. No.
Social
emotional learning. We can't say that here anymore. It's mental health.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my gosh.
No, we did have a big.
They already came for it.
We already had a big blow up with that.
So we still do, we just call it mental health.
So it's just, our mental health curriculum.
Okay.
And
Who's against
really
mental health
working
curriculum?
on-
Not me.
Right. Nope. If you are, then that really there's a real issue.
Then you need mental health curriculum.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make that transition to no.
That's probably a bad word to mention here too.
It's all mental health.
Okay.
It's just all the different words you have to use, and of course we don't do C. We don't. So, yeah.
Yeah.
We're just learning how to worm around all of those weird things that are out there.
So you're worming around all of those things that are out there. I wonder if Cindy was available for comment. National Review has actually been contacting quite a few of these teachers. Here's you have the front page of the National Review's online today. School administrators worm around. Oh, she just said that. Cindy out of Nampa just said that. I remember that. School administrators worm around laws banning critical race theory. Undercover videos reveal. Let's hit the National Reviews. One American News covered it today, March 25th. Cool. So, National Review, let's move on to what the National Review article says. School administrators worm around. There's Cindy's headline. Hi, Cindy in Nampa. Are you available for comment? Because the National Review said that you weren't. Okay, so they're trying to worm around laws banning critical race theory. Undercover videos reveal. And there's just some of the article, right? What they're saying in the National Review is anti-critical race theory law continues. The debate continues. New evidence has emerged to support the notion that the laws are toothless because ultimately teachers in the classroom decide what's taught. So here we are. According to a compilation of undercover interviews recorded in Idaho and Tennessee by Accuracy in Media, a conservative watchdog group. So they're talking about these videos, and the Idaho Freedom Foundation has had their hands on those. And again, Wayne Hoffman, Anna Miller from the Idaho Freedom Foundation have been telling everyone for the better part of a year is still happening with critical race theory. It's still being hidden under social emotional learning, right? Well, let's go on to a little bit more about this article here. Where do we have it? Oh, here's this from the National Review. I love this so much. Who did not respond to comments? Melissa Langen, the Van Buren Elementary School principal and now chief academic officer of the Caldwell School District in Western Idaho, told Adam Gillette of Accuracy in Media that her district circumvented the state's law by simply renaming certain aspects of their curriculum. However, Langen and the Caldwell School District, as of today, when this article was run, National Review, did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Do you think they're going to respond to requests for comment at all? We should make a game out of that. Get a prize. We'll bet on when they may or may not respond for comment. My money's on no. Speaking of responding for comment, where's Idaho's media on this? I mean, I know they're really concerned about Senate Bill 1309 to pass a Texas-style abortion heartbeat bill. I know they're super concerned that that's a law now and it's all they can talk about. I know they're super concerned about budgets and that libraries may not get about money, but this is hitting national news. Where are Idaho's reporters? Let's find out. I've been looking around here. Let's see. Oh, front page of Idaho Ed News today. Let's see if there's anything about accuracy in media, critical race theory. But no, do you guys see anything? I don't either. Oh, Brandon Durst. That's Dustin Hurst's twin brother, some people think. But that's a story for another day. I don't see anything. Let's go ahead. But National Review, One American News, I just checked on Twitter. They're covering it. Nothing here. Well, let's move on to our next slide here. Ah, yes. Here it is. I've been waiting for this one all day. So, we have National Review covering this. We don't have Idaho's reporters covering this. So I figure Idaho's reporters will just do like Shaun of the Dead in typical fashion. They're going to go to the pub, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all of this critical race theory being blown wide open to actually blow over. That's their reporting style. That's how it works out here in Idaho. So, to reiterate, we have critical race theory being taught right here in Idaho schools under the guise of social emotional learning. Do you want to see again? Why not? Let's see if I can play another clip. Here's a Boise school teacher. Find out what he says on this Accuracy in Media undercover report.
be able to teach the tenets kind of maybe associated with that, but under the guise of equity or something else. Can we do that?
Yes, and we have we started part of our strategic plan deals with equity.
Good.
And we have one of our supervisors is world studies, social studies, and equity.
Just as now they view anything bad as critical race theory, I'm glad that the equity term doesn't seem to have spread amongst that crowd yet.
Yeah, I hope not. We're looking at saying, do we match up with what we preach? Because there could be things out there that, like, either certain books or things that actually are not inclusive.
And I bet the idiot MAGA crowd just ignores it because it doesn't have the critical race theory name on it, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Well, that idiot MAGA crowd, huh? Boy, imagine that. I don't suppose he was available for comment either. The National Review's covering this. Again, it made front page news about critical race theory being disguised as social and emotional learning, which, let's just bring it up again because it's so good. Because the Idaho media just said we were all crazy for thinking this, and the far right, such as Wayne Hoffman and the Idaho Freedom Foundation, were just making all this up. Social emotional learning, it's been a long established concept in the Treasure Valley. Well, now we know why. Let's bring it up again. I love this story. Wayne Hoffman, timestamp it, October 20th, 2021. Yeah, social emotional learning. Social emotional learning is the vehicle through which social justice indoctrination concepts like critical race theory have quietly made their way into their classroom. Months before this accurate and good on accuracy in media. Love this report. But yeah, months ago, for the better part of a year, Wayne's been saying that this is happening. So is Anna Miller. She was my guest on Wednesday night. Let's look at this article she wrote June 28th, 2021. Almost a year ago, right? They're telling you about social and emotional learning. Let's read along, shall we? Typically, these new techniques are just a repackaged version of the same old failed methods. The latest fad in education is social emotional learning, which has been dubbed a progressive education's greatest victory and become a global phenomenon. Where's the Idaho media been on this? Let's find out. Oh, the Idaho Press in November. Idaho's far right radical. Don't forget radical, not in the cool 80s sense radical. Like they think we're crazy. Like if you're a centrist, for crying out loud. And I'm not a centrist by any means. I'm very conservative. But even if you're a centrist now, you're far right, I think. But moving on to what their definitions of radical are. Idaho's far right ramps up conversation, long established learning concept. So, I hate going over this again. Actually, I don't. I really just want to drive this point home about where Idaho's media has been. They've been acting like it doesn't exist. And then when there's proof on these video clips and accuracy in media, and when it's hit national news, they are nowhere to be found. Down at the pub, having a pint, waiting for this whole thing to blow over. And that, my friends, is Idaho's media. It's all over national news. They're just pretending that it doesn't exist. This whole story doesn't exist. Just like critical race theory. They think it just doesn't exist, my friends. But it does, clearly, with these videos here from Accuracy in Media. So I just want to drive that point home. Again tonight, thanks for joining. I'm going to get that report on what's happening with the legislature. If they're in, if they're out, so last I checked, they were still, talked to a couple legislators, they're still in session. So we'll bring you probably more of that on the next Steph Lucas Live or the Hoff-Time Report. Thanks for watching tonight. Just Google Accuracy in Media, Idaho Schools, National Review, or One America News. You'll find it because it's all over the place. Unless you follow Idaho's media, then it's nowhere. If you follow me, you'll know about it. I know you do. Anyway, thanks so much for joining on Steph Lucas Live. You have a terrific weekend and have a